Hey, I want to tell you about a new segment on the Heavens Metal Vodcast. So you've got Coffee with Pastor Bob, and you've got Headbangers Brew Coffee. Well, this new segment is called Dumping the Coffee Grinds. Or maybe you can call it compost. Or maybe you can call it unwanted bits of coffee, or the discarded segments that Pastor Bob would never talk about. Welcome to the first unwanted segment. This segment is going to be very short, and it's going to be about music. It's going to be about UFO and Michael Schenker, okay? Now, first of all, the one spiritual bit I want to bring up, the only part I'm going to guarantee is spiritual, is that I have lived a very, very blessed life. I am so grateful that there's not really any artists that I need to see. I don't have a bucket list per se, because, man, I've just seen, I would love to have say I've seen Led Zeppelin. In 1980, the LA Times was advertising Led Zeppelin tickets for the LA Forum for the tour that was going to be on the heels of Into the Outdoor, Led Zeppelin's last real brand new studio album. Coda doesn't count because it was like a collection of studio things in a live cut. But I digress. So I had seen advertisements for Led Zeppelin to play the LA Forum in 1980. And so I can't remember the name of the company, but there was ads in the back of the Los Angeles Times calendar section, and that's where these ads were. And so I called up that number, and I could put a deposit down for Led Zeppelin tickets. So I snuck, somehow, I don't know where they kept it, but I snuck my parents' credit card, a MasterCard or Visa, and I gave them the card number, and boom, $50 deposit down on those Led Zeppelin tickets. And boy, was I in trouble when my parents found out. What is this unauthorized charge? This is like stealing from my parents. But and I got to see Page and Plant twice, so it was kind of like seeing Led Zeppelin. And they played a bunch of Zeppelin hits, and it was great. But I've been very, very blessed where it's like I don't really have a bucket list of people that I need to see live. Now, one of my favorite bands in my youth was UFO. In fact, the Strangers in the Night double live album, I think, is the best live album of all time. Better than Kiss Alive, better than Frampton Comes Alive, better than One More from the Road by Leonard Skinner, better than Double Live Gonzo, better than Savior Machine live in Deutschland, 1 or 2. It's just fantastic. It's got so much feeling in those fingers and the live playing by Michael Schenker. But I went to see UFO live, and I think they were playing with the Scorpions. That's probably the Grammy committee driving by, just trying to make noise, just to shut me up, to get me off of the air. That's my conspiracy theory I'm throwing out there. But anyway, so I saw UFO live at the Frank Erwin Center in Austin in the 2000s at some point. And Vinnie Moore was a guitar player. And I like Vinnie Moore. I bought his album Mind's Eye. I think I still have the Mind's Eye album on vinyl. Neoclassical, on Shrapnel Records by Mike Varney, I think, as that came out on. Great, a lot of melodic feeling, but dude, all apologies to your talent, Vinny. Your playing in UFO doesn't compare to Michael Schenker's playing. So I've seen UFO live without Michael Schenker, and I was disappointed. Not that it was bad, but the UFO with Schenker was just so good. So I probably want to change my mind and say I'm kind of coming to the grips with the fact that I probably need to make a bucket list and put Michael Schenker on that list. I should see Michael Schenker live in concert while he's still alive. I think the 3 best living guitar players are Uli John Roth, Frank Marino, and Michael Schenker, and not in that order. I think those are my 3 favorites. I think they're the 3 best that are alive right now. Maybe the best of all time, but it's hard to say that when Jimi Hendrix is no longer here with us to defend his crown. But anyway, so I want to go see Michael Schenker live. And you know what kind of tilted me over? I'll give a shout out to Monty Colvin Monty's Rockcast. Search that podcast out, it's fun. Monty's Rockcast. He talks about music and TV and sports and his experiences with the Galactic Cowboys. But he mentioned at one time years ago on his Rockcast that he saw Michael Schenker the previous night or right before the podcast, and that it was a great show, and he played Rock Bottom, and he really shouted that out as a Rock Bottom is not one of my favorite UFO songs. It's a very long song, and it doesn't have like a killer hook. It's not super melodic like Love to Love maybe, or even Doctor Doctor or Lights Out. But the solo in Rock Bottom is pretty darn cool. It's not one of my favorite solos of his, but it's just a great one. It's super long, and he performs that live when he does his solo tours. So anyway, there you go. There is the Refuse podcast by Doug of the Unwanted Coffee Grinds. Just a short little thing about music. I'll do another one of these soon, and maybe more as inspiration comes.
Rock stars on guard, caught in the fire, searching for